Hey guys, and welcome to this video on the North Node in Virgo, South Node in Pisces. I'm Cassandra, the Saffron Sage, helping you use astrology to evolve. And this video is for you if your North Node in astrology is in the sign of Virgo, which means your South Node is in the sign of Pisces. So if you have your North Node in Virgo, you are here to create order out of chaos. You are here to responsibly plan and execute that plan in an orderly fashion. Having the South Node in Pisces means you had past lives with a lot of Pisces energy. Pisces energy is about trusting the universe, going with the flow, dissolving the barriers between yourself and the other and the divine. So you could have had lifetimes where you were a spiritual teacher, a sage, a mystic. You could have been an addict. I know those things seem very separate, but what's that quote that the schizophrenic drowns in the waters, that the mystic swims with delight? That's the idea of Pisces. It's this otherworldliness, it's the other realm. And the way we get to that other realm is either through spirituality, through some kind of addiction, or through getting lost in some kind of creativity. So you could have also been a painter or a singer or an actor, but if you were one of those things, the emphasis was on the state change that it provided, and you didn't just do it a little, you were lost in it. It was an escape for you. Frida Kahlo comes to mind, where for her, painting was an escape from the pain that she had in life. That is a Pisces type of lifetime. So in whatever way you lost yourself, whether it was on purpose through transcending using spiritual practices, or whether it was through addiction or some creative outlet. So the patterns you can bring into this life that it's right for you to let go of, if you have the North Node in Virgo, are escapism. Escaping when things get difficult, not wanting to deal with certain things, avoiding things. These are all challenges for the North Node in Virgo. If you have your North Node in Virgo, trusting the universe is not for you. And if you put a lot of energy in trying to do fields or types of activities that really involve that go with the flow energy, then that might create imbalances for you. This doesn't mean that you can't paint if you want to, or you can't use creativity or be spiritual or do any of those things. But it means if you do those things, you need to do them in a planned, methodical, orderly kind of way, not in a way that escapes you out of dealing with your daily responsibilities or anything else in life. Another past life pattern to avoid or watch for is isolation. You had many lifetimes where you got lost in the moment, in the experience, and that isolated you from other people. So in this life, that can be a pattern where some challenge comes up and your natural instinct is to go on a retreat or, be drawn to go to other lands to explore and connect with something more. It doesn't mean you can't do those things in this life, but again, if you do, they need to have a set beginning and ending and be for a purpose. So the more that you can funnel your spiritual activities into a purpose or into a scheduled routine where you're trying to accomplish a result, even though that's not normally what we would do, that's actually right for you. It's right for you to have limits on your escapism time, if that makes sense. Another challenge that the North Node in Virgo can have is almost like just being really too flexible. When a challenge comes up, people with this placement might have a knee-jerk reaction of going the other direction, of being like water and just flowing the other way. So you might hear them say things like, one door closes, one more opens. This is another phrase that if your North Node is in Virgo, you can try this, right? You can have spiritual friends who say this and you can watch them succeed. Well, maybe their North Node is in Pisces and that's right for them. Some of these broad spiritual concepts will not be as effective for you. North Node in Virgo person can get overwhelmed. And if you get overwhelmed, you can just kind of go back into that Pisces energy of just wanting to float along in the ocean. I think of Pisces like the ocean. It doesn't have boundaries. And so when you get overwhelmed with this placement, it can be a challenge. So again, what do? You move towards your North Node by breaking up tasks into small pieces. Being like a Virgo, making lists, doing things in small chunks, making sure you tend to the details. And another thing to watch out for with this South Node is too much self-examination. So the patterns to develop for this North and South Node are creating routines, creating order, creating a plan. Making sure that your actions are making sense to you, that your goals, you break them down into next steps that are rational, and that if you want to develop confidence with the North Node in Virgo, you can't just like jump into something you've never done before and wing it. With the North Node in Virgo, you really need to create steps to reach a goal. You need to be able to know what those steps are, and you need to be able to take chances based on the confidence you've developed from the things working or not working. This is a sign, a placement of really needing to test, measure, and really do everything in life by how things have worked for you in the past. You may not naturally think this way. Chances are, it would be much easier for you to say, no, I just want to let it go and trust the universe. That's an energy you'll probably want to rely on. But the more that you can make a plan, be accountable for that plan, decide what you want, and go after it in an ordered, methodical way, a practical way that makes sense based on how the physical world works, the better chances you have of being successful. It is right for you to pay attention to detail. People with this placement can be very good nurses. They can work in acupuncture clinics or do other kinds of holistic health care because they have that healing energy. And then it's right for them to use it in a detailed way where, especially if you have a job or a purpose or a hobby where doing things right, you know, there's a right way and a wrong way. If there's a right way and a wrong way to do something, then that's the kind of thing you as a Virgo North Node can move toward. If it's like, oh, you just trust and you see how it goes, you might struggle with those kinds of jobs or those kinds of hobbies. You also need to be of service, and you can do really well in an outcome-based profession, the kind of job where instead of getting paid by the hour, you get recognized for what you can accomplish, because what happens with the Virgo North Node is you can actually end up producing a lot more or accomplishing a lot more than the average person. And so if you're in a hourly job, that can be really hard on you because you're not really going to get the credit that you deserve. Your pay isn't really going to equal what you're capable of accomplishing. Of course, that only applies if you're in the right kind of work and you're in alignment with the rest of your chart. You can also tell if you're on track with this placement because Virgo needs to be of service. Virgo is like the humble servant. Okay, they really need to be of service, useful, and see how what they're doing is benefiting society, people around them, someone has to benefit from your work in order for you to be truly happy. And so because of this, the Virgo North Node can have a challenge with when and how to give, how much to give, and giving too much. If you feel recharged after giving, that's a sign that whatever you were just doing is right for you, that you were giving in a way that really worked for you. And sometimes Virgo North Node people really need to set boundaries with themselves around when and how to give and have some kind of structure in their life for that as well. As a Virgo North Node, you can develop a sense of self-confidence, but it has to come from practical experience. Using your analytical side to test and measure and see what has worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, and really move forward based on the physical grounded reality and data, right? Like collecting the data when it comes to what you like to do and you don't like to do. For a Virgo North Node, that would actually probably work for you. If you made a list of everything that makes you feel good and everything that makes you feel bad, that is enough data for you to move forward. Now, again, these activities could benefit everyone, but if you are a Virgo North Node, you won't be able to get away with dropping into that Pisces energy that is beautiful, of just wanting to help the world and disappear. You can't disappear in this life. You're here to focus in on doing something right, being accurate, and really testing and measuring and taking steps in order. Your gift as a Virgo North Node are being able to accomplish a lot. Being a humble servant, really being able to help the world, to use the healing ability, the soothing, compassionate abilities that you developed in your past lifetime in this life to help people in a way that is organized and that is efficient. You have the gift of bringing order to chaos. However, in order to open up this gift, you have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and start organizing if you haven't already done so. So that's my video on the Virgo North Node. I hope that this was helpful. Let me know in a comment below if it was. You can join my Facebook group, Astrology and Alchemy, where I go live on the astrology every week. You can book a private reading using the link below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave me a comment, do all the things. I appreciate all of you so much, and I will see you in the next video.